Hey, Shalom Akim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakakadash, double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Stone to well, and to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, preaching the gospel of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai with all diligence of mind in this last days and times, alright? So, these so-called churches, man, they're all part of this charade that the Lord has been warning us about in this last days. That they're gonna cause a lot of our people to fall, alright? The so-called Negroes, the so-called Latinos, and the so-called Native Americans, who are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. So you got this news report concerning this Pioneer Grove Baptist Church requiring that its worshippers to sign a waiver to get a temperature check and to show proof of vaccination for in-person services. Alright, so just how I say it, man. Walking with the enemy against the Lord. Alright. So hey, it's only a matter of time before the Lord starts to make a full end of these so-called churches, man, because they're nothing, for the preaching of the gospel. It's just show and tell. That's all it is, man. It doesn't really get into the prophecies of the Lord concerning the deliverance of the Israelites. That's our people. All right. So I'm gonna go straight to some precepts here. I'm gonna read from the book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 12. Actually, 1 and 2, so I can. Yeah, because I wrote down these precepts just to make sure I have my memory exercised. So Exodus chapter 23 verses 1 says, "Thou shalt not raise a false report." All right. "Put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness." So when you read the report, you know that these so-called churches are putting out there to the people, making them believe that this jab is going to make them feel safe and protected, but that's not the truth. All right. So with all the proof of people dying and people getting injured and all type of craziness happening and misinformation by the so-called news media, it doesn't really bother them because they're already undertaken. All right. They're in bed with the beast. All right. So it's saying that more jab requirements are popping up across Metro Atlanta, including a DeKalb County church. Atlanta has more than half a dozen mega churches alone, with some averaging more than 10,000 parishioners on any given Sunday. All right. And then it says with crowds and the spread of the D variant, some faith centers are taking extra precautions to keep people safe. Yeah. So these so-called places, man, you can't call them faith centers, man. They're just revenue, what you call it, man, revenue centers. All right. They don't really care about preaching the true gospel of the Lord Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. All right. The Lord is not dealing with these churches, so don't waste your time thinking you're gonna gain anything substantial from them. All right. So Exodus 23 verse 2 says, "Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many, to wrest judgment." All right. So when you watch the video on this site, it's gonna tell you how much of a fraud that they're trying to push. All right. That's why it's very, very important, man, to stick with the facts. Even the science doesn't agree for you to take it. So why you want to go against it? Why you want to go against the word of the Lord to take this jab? All right. So you see where it's the old pastor. What's the pastor's name? Reverend W. William E. Flippin Sr. All right. It says we are not apologizing for being the most cautious and most conservative during this period. All right. So what is he conserving? He's not conserving the words of the Lord. He's conserving the fraud that these elite Edomites are pushing upon the people. All right. So I'm going to get this precept real quick. Isaiah chapter 60 verse 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. All right. So the whole world, man, is currently engulfed in darkness, the darkness of Esau's fraud. All right. And there's only the men of the Lord that understand the total agenda that's happening, that's taking place. And this is just the handwork of the elites of Edom trying to get the birthright back. All right. And that they will do whatever they can in their power to make sure their plans come into fruition. But it's not going to come into fruition because the Lord Hamashiach Yahushua has said they will fail miserably. All right. So this so-called Pastor Flippin, man, yeah, you could tell he's not a man of the Lord, man, by him going along with the doctrine of Edom. All right. So it says, we said we are going to follow the signs. Everyone wanted to come to church, but we were going to follow the signs, and we did just that. All right. So he went against the the will of the so-called people and go with the fraudulent report that the CDC and the so-called media agencies are pushing, all right, on behalf of these elite Edomites, man. So you could read the whole report, man. All right, they say they want you to sign a waiver, get a temperature check, and show proof of a vaccination. There's nothing wrong with getting your temperature checked. There's nothing wrong, with so-called signing a waiver. As long as your faith in the Lord Hamashiach Yahushua stands firm, you don't take the jab, and you don't take the MOTB, you're good. And you have faith all the way until the end. Because these elites are desperate, man. They are desperate. So I'm going to get some more precept from the book of Job. This is Job chapter 15, verse 34. It says, for the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall consume the tabernacles of Robbery. All right. So remember that, man. The Lord is going to make a move on these so-called churches, man. And he's going to make a public example of them. All right. And we're going to see it, man. All right. All these churches and all these so-called pastors that are going along with the agenda of the government, agenda of the New World Order, the Lord is going to deal with them, all right? So always remember that, man. The Lord is not a fool. The Lord is not blind as per the actions to deceive the whole world, working with the serpent, all right? So the Lord is going to be, very, very angry, man. That's going to bring his judgment upon the whole earth, all right? Because the time of judgment is a time of separation, all right? So a precept I'd like to look into will be from the book of Sirach. Sirach chapter 40. Sirach chapter 40, verse 12. It says, all bribery and all injustice shall be blotted out. All right? So always remember that all bribery and all injustice shall be blotted out. Just like, the so-called Pharisees conspired with Rome to keep our people oppressed and keep them as subservient servants to Edom. Those days are coming to an end, all right? So always remember that, man. We're not going to be slaves forever under this Edomites. The Lord has already gave his word to our forefather Abraham. That's how we're going to receive the kingdom, all right? And Yahweh Shai attested to that, all right? So, Sirach chapter 40 verse 12, all bribery and injustice shall be blotted out, but true dealing shall endure forever. So the works of the servants of the Lord is going to be recorded, all right, in the kingdom, all right? And the words of the Lord, his words of righteousness, is going to be in full effect, all right? So, final precept would be from the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, from verse 17. It says, judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet. And the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the waters shall overflow the hiding place. All right. So all these churches are nothing but the refuge of lies, man. All right. Places of confusion. All right. They don't glorify the name of the Lord. How about Shimei Shai, about Shimei Krakadash? They don't teach our people that they are Israelites. All right. All they do is teach our people to comply with the so-called government's agenda, all right, with the government mandates, with the government executive orders, all right? And verse 18, and your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it. That's the judgments that's going to come upon these churches, man, that have made a league with Satan, all right, to put the words of the Lord in the dumpster, all right. So the more you look at these churches, man, the more angry you are going to be. And you just say, you know what, the Lord is in charge, the Lord is going to give them their just judgment very soon, man, all right. So that was the point that I came, you could look at the whole report, man. You could see our people just lining up, thinking that these so-called churches have so much of their salvation in mind, but they do not, all right? It's just a place for whorehouse agenda to make our people whores for the elites of Esau, man. Making our people to be whores of Babylon, all right? And it's nothing but Babylonian worship, man, all right? Babylonian worship. All they do is just, give people to feel good and all that stuff, man. And it's almost over, man, all right? So that's the point that I came. My Baratazar, the Lord Hamashiach Yahushua, continue to strengthen us in these last days and time. Shalom.